Hello, so in this session we're going to be talking through how to create an effective revision timetable. So how to generate a revision timetable that's going to work for you and help you stick to what revision you really need to be doing and when you need to be doing it. There's a lot of content to get through when you're revising for multiple exams, so a good plan is essential if you're going to make sure that you cover everything. A plan's going to help you break down those big, daunting tasks into manageable bite-sized portions, and it should leave you feeling confident that you've got enough time to get everything done. And that's the main purpose of a revision timetable. It should calm those nerves in preparation for exams and allow you to see how it is physically possible to fit your revision in. So where should you begin? In general, you should have a think about what your exam goals are and write them down. Do you want to get an A in GCSE maths or go up a grade in biology? If so, make sure you're working plenty of time for these subjects into your timetable so you're giving yourself the best chance of success. Work out where you are now, talk to your teachers and look at any recent results. Speak with your parents. Work out where you currently stand and then start planning the next leg of your journey to exam success. It's really important that you figure out where you are at the moment and have a really clear picture of that before you draw up your timetable. And then finally, get some big sheets of A3 paper and draw out a big calendar that accounts for every day between now and your exam. You can print the blank calendars off Google Images as well, which is what I tend to do for my form when I've had a Year 11 form in the past. The first thing to do with your revision timetable is write in the dates of your exams, colour code them for your different subjects so that you can visualise the time you've got to work with and you can keep that end goal in mind. So start with the dates of your exams. Are they morning or afternoon exams? When are all of your set exams? And then from there we work backwards looking at our revision. What does a good timetable look like? So a good revision timetable should balance structure and flexibility. You want to know what you're doing and when, but also have some wiggle room in case a task or a topic takes longer than expected. Your plan should also prioritise the subjects where the exams are coming up first and the subjects you find most difficult, because these subjects are probably going to take up more time, which is why we need to really reflect on what those subjects are before we start drawing up our plan. Whatever you do, don't do what so many students do and shy away from the hard stuff. If anything, it's best to get the trickiest things out of the way first so that you have plenty of time to seek help, ask questions and get your head around difficult concepts before the big day. I always say to my students in psychology, think of the thing that you want to revise the least, that the thought of revising it sends shivers down your spine. That really should be where you start. The thing that you don't want to revise is the revision that you really need to do. So if that's a particular subject or a topic, that should be your starting point. What we all like to do is revise the stuff that we know. So I remember when I was at school, I always enjoyed revising biology because I was good at biology and I knew it. And all you're basically doing there is giving yourself a pat on the back and saying, oh, well done me, I know this stuff. That's not effective revision. We need to start with the things that we don't know, the things that you dread the thought of revising, and that will make you make a lot more progress. So finally, what does a good timetable look like? Okay, your plan should tell you which topics and subtopics you're going to be covering each day and how much time you're going to dedicate to each of those topics. Other commitments that are going to affect your timetable should also be added in too. Okay, so like plans with friends, exercise and other hobbies. These things are really important. So you need to schedule those into your timetable. So here's an example on the screen of what one might look like for 1 week. Okay, so you would of course add the topics that are relevant to your studies. But here we've got Monday, AM, we're going to do an hour of biology on a particular topic, then an hour and a half of English. In the afternoon, we're going to do an hour of history and an hour of Spanish on that one. And you can see here on the Saturday AM, we've got the gym, we've got that we're out for dinner on Saturday night. Obviously not going to happen in a lockdown situation. Cinema at 8 p.m. on the Wednesday. So we've added in all of these things here and incorporated our revision into that as well. Putting thought into this before your revision gets fully underway is time well spent. If we get these logistics sorted, it allows us to focus solely on the task in hand I can't tell you how much better you will feel just from creating that plan. Through going through this process, it'll open your eyes to what is possible rather than just drifting through the weeks leading up to your exams. Tick off the days as you go along. It's really good practice. Use past papers to practice under exam conditions and begin that exam day countdown. Every minute matters, so make the most of the time you've got and don't overwhelm yourself. If you have a plan to do 3 hours of revision, only do those 3 hours. That's what's on your plan. Don't keep going even if you're feeling really into it, because then you're going to burn out. You need to just stick to your revision timetable. One last thing I wanted to note here was a strategy called interleaving, which you may or may not have heard of before. But interleaving revision helps students to remember more. So if you create a revision timetable that used interleaved practice, which means choosing topics that are similar or related to each other and different subjects, this makes it easier for students to plan out their revision, so similar and related ideas and concepts like maths and science are studied together, but in different orders. So rather than separately or always in the same order. So as you can see here, there's an image of a less effective or blocked practice in terms of revision, where students would say study, as an example, science all day on a Monday, English all day on a Tuesday, maths all day on a Wednesday. And that seemed to be a lot less effective than doing a highly effective interleaved practice where you do, say, an hour of biology, an hour of art, an hour of psychology, and then you move through and you mix it up each day. What we tend to find is students that do the less effective strategy burn out towards the end of the week, and then we've got some subjects that are never being touched because they're lower on that list of priorities, and revision becomes very dull and monotonous if you're doing a whole day of maths revision. By interleaving it, you feel like you're making more progress in those shorter periods of time, and you're not doing these blocks of hours of revision that we know are not effective for our students. So that's just some brief guidance really on how to create a revision timetable. I think definitely that starting point is what we said on the first slide, speaking to teachers, getting the exam dates, which Miss Knowles will talk through when she refers to the changes to the GCSE exams, and printing out a calendar on A3 and filling in those exam dates, working backwards from there, focusing on the subjects that need more time and those subjects that we don't want to revise. Hope you found that useful. If you need any other guidance, please don't hesitate to contact me in terms of creating an effective revision timetable.